When I brace myself for battle, I invite the very storm I dread dot. Why would anyone raise a shield unless they sensed a shadow looming? A threat pressing close and believed their own resistance could turn the tide. Herein lies the snare of self-protection. It breathes life into phantoms, then wrestles with them as if they were flesh and bone. It piles mirage upon mirage, turning a clear path into a tangled maze. This is what happens when you try to chain tomorrow's winds, summon yesterday's echoes, or carve the present into a shape that suits you. You act as though something out there stalks you. Armed with menace you must outwit. To feel hunted is to admit frailty, a whisper in your heart that danger lurks, strong enough to demand you stand guard. The world spins on this wild motion. Its towers, its creeds, its clamor of voices, its iron rules, its champions, and its sacred altars all prop up this trembling fear, who strides through life clad in steel without a shiver racing through their soul. Shielding yourself is a chilling dance. It springs from unease, and each step you take to fortify only deepens the chill. You think it promises refuge, but it sings. Of dread turned solid, of panic given wings. Isn't it curious that you rarely stop to wonder, as you tighten your grip and pile stones higher, what you're guarding, how you're guarding it, and from what? Let's pause and look at what you're shielding. It must be something brittle, a fragile spark easily snuffed out. Something defenseless, a wisp that begs for your vigilance. What else but this fleeting frame of yours so delicate that it demands endless tending, a watchful eye to cradle its faint glow? What else stumbles and fades, unfit to house the guide's boundless light? Yet this frame doesn't tremble or cower. It's not the source of fear, only the rolls you drape over it make it so. It craves no grand barricades, no elixirs of vigor, no hovering care. Bolster its days or deck it with treasures, and you only confess it's a guest of time worn by the years, fragile as frost, so vulnerable you'd trade your peace to keep it standing. Doesn't this portrait stir unease? Can you rest easy with such a vision of your dwelling? Yet what granted this frame the task of carrying you, if not your own belief? Your thoughts stitched it into purposes it can't bear, lifting its worth far beyond mere clay and breath. Whoop! Cling to such a trifle, knowing it for what it is. This frame needs no fortress. Let that sink in, it's a truth worth repeating. It thrives when your mind stops twisting it into shapes it can't hold, chasing dreams it can't reach, or lofty heights it can't climb. These foolish treasured quests spark the wild assaults you heap upon it. When it seems to falter, falling short of your wishes, your cravings, your grand designs, it's only reflecting the chaos you've sown dot. The you that cries for safeguarding isn't real. This frame, a fleeting tool of little worth, becomes a quiet ally when you see it as separate from your essence, a vessel for the mind to wield until its work is done. Who'd hoard it once its purpose fades? Guard this frame, and you wound your own spirit. You spy flaws and limits in it, burdens. You think it must escape. You blur the line between mind and matter, chaining the body to every ache born of a mind convinced it's small, brittle, and cut off from its source. These are the thoughts begging for mending. Heal them, and the frame will hum with vitality, answering truth with strength. This is its truest shield. Yet do you seek its safety here? You wrap it in care that offers no balm, only adding to your turmoil. Healing slips away when you miss where hope truly lies. A mended mind doesn't plot its course. It follows whispers from a wisdom not its own, stepping forward only when the way is shown. It leans on nothing but its readiness to fulfill what's asked, trusting that no barrier can halt its stance toward a purpose woven for all. A mended mind shrugs off the urge to scheme, knowing it can't grasp the perfect end, the path to reach it, or even the riddle it's meant to unravel. It missteps when it bends the frame to its will until it sees the folly and lets go. Restored at last, binding this frame to the mind's frantic designs only breeds decay. It can't freely serve a vision far grander than its own keeping knot while it's tethered to fleeting needs. Set it free for a higher call and wellness blooms. Every task it's given flows with ease, backed by a strength that never falters. It's hard to see that your own blueprints are just walls raised against the light, built to lock in what you cling to. The frightened mind scrambles to shield itself, trading truth for control. Some masks it wears are plain to spot denials that scream their falseness. Yet plotting your days is rarely named armor. A mind lost in crafting its fate seeks to tame what's yet to come. It doubts provision will arrive unless it claws for it. Time tilts toward tomorrow, shaped by lessons carved from yesterday's scars. The now fades as the mind bets the past has taught it enough to steer what's ahead. A plodding mind resists the breeze of change. What it's gathered becomes the seed of its aims. Old trails mark its map, blind to the gift of this moment. Promise of a dawn unlike the dusk, unshackled from stale fears. Here, trust lights the way, leaving no room for restless guesses. These walls you build defy the real. They cherry pick what fits your tale, brushing aside what clashes with your fragile truth. What's left is a hollow shell. Your essence, the very thing you'd shield, is what these barriers assault, dim, and tear apart. What couldn't you embrace if you knew every step? Every twist of time was traced by a divine hand bent solely on your joy. Perhaps you've misread the design, it holds no sting. Yet your barricades dim the warmth that glowed in every move you made. While you charted ruin, the divine nudged you toward endless dawn. Trust in this moment is the shield that vows a future free of shadows, brimming with a delight that swells as life unfurls into a sacred now tied to time, yet reaching beyond it. Let only this trust guide what's to come, and life becomes a vivid meeting with the truth your walls once hid, undefended. You shine a beacon the heavens claim with gratitude. It will guide you along paths set for your bliss, part of a timeless weave begun when the stars blinked awake. Those beside you will lend their glow until the earth dances with gladness. Our kin will shed their heavy cloaks, useless burdens that only chilled them. We'll greet that day now with steady faith, for it's ours to claim. We'll trust that all we need arrives to make it so. No schemes will shape it, just our open hands, letting truth settle in with quiet certainty. Twice today, for a quarter hour, we'll step back from frantic weaving and every thought that crowds out the real. We'll welcome instead of wrestle, offering rather than ordering. And we'll receive as we breathe these words. When I shield myself, I summon the storm, but in openness I grow steady, unveiling what my walls obscure, that's all. If plans arise, they'll find you. They may not match your old maps or solve the puzzles you once held dear. They answer a deeper call, one you've yet to voice, awaiting its reply. Your shields have only blocked what waits for you now. In the gentle glow of trust, you'll marvel why you ever thought release needed guarding. The heavens ask no toll. It's the abyss that demands your surrender. Today, unguarded, you stand as you are before the divine. The divine recalls you. Today, we echo that call. This is your awakening tide arise from what seemed a grave of despair. Hope flickers anew, for you arrive unarmored, ready to claim your place in the divine's vast design. What petty schemes or fleeting charms hold sway when the guide's voice names your part? Don't mold the stay to your whims. You can't fathom the joy that flows without your meddling. Learn now, and the world will leap forward, rejoicing in your renewal. When trifles stir your guard or tempt you to spin new threads, remind yourself, this is my awakening tide. I'll keep it sacred. I won't shield myself, for the guide's light needs no defense against its own truth. Sickness is a wall against the real. Healing comes when you see what it guards, a hollow purpose with no root. Without cause or meaning, it vanishes. When this dawns, wellness follows, sweeping away this frail illusion with the same grace that lifts all shadows to light. Sickness isn't a stray gust. It's a deliberate craft, a mirror to fool yourself. Like all barriers, it hides the real, warping it, breaking it, scattering it into dust. Every wall strives to keep truth fractured, each piece masquerading as holdout. These walls aren't accidents. They rise with intent, swift wands you flick when reality nudges too close. They feel buried, but only because you wield them in a heartbeat. In that flash, you know your aim, then cloak it as done. You alone name the threat. Call for retreat and stack your defenses high. This isn't blind instinct. Later, you let it slip from memory, casting it as fated force outside you, pressing in. Yet what you've buried can wake, if you dare to question the choice cloaked in shadow. Forgetting is just the sign it still holds you. Defenses twist what's true, they're built to, and they do. Each wall plucks shards from the whole, stitching them into a false tapestry. This breeds the menace, not the outcome itself. Torn from their roots, these scraps stand as arrows against the real, striking deep, never whole again. Yet they're just echoes of your own verdict, substitutes for what shines beneath. Sickness is your decree, not a curse that finds you unbidden to sap your strength. It's a choice, a blueprint laid when truth flares briefly and your world teeters. You fall ill to banish that light, to steady your fragile throne. How can sickness fend off truth? It binds you to this frame, proving you're apart from what's real. Pain ties you to it, sealing yourself in its dust. This quiets the whisper that you might be more, silencing it with a groan. A twist, a final breath dot, so this dust outmuscles the eternal. Heaven bows to shadow, and the divine's design bends to your will. Your ash, the divine diminished. Chaos crowned, that's your fortress. You think the heavens quake at this, blinded by your tricks, truth flipped to lies, all bound to your rules. Yet who buys these visions but their maker? The divine ignores your schemes. The stars don't heed your laws. Heaven doesn't kneel to dust, nor life to death. You can only choose to fade, to ache, to twist the real. What's woven stays beyond. This walls challenge what can't be touched. What's fixed can't shift. What's pure can't falter. Truth stands simple. It doesn't roar or demand. It doesn't prove your effort small. It offers joy its only aim. Maybe it sighs when you spurn its gifts, but it knows the divine's will arrives. This proves time a trick. It lets you think the divine's grace isn't yours now when it always is. The divine's thoughts defy time, another wall you raised. What the divine wills is here, and you remain as crafted. Truth holds a might no wall can match. It enters, where arms are laid down, ending foolish games. It's here anytime today, if you invite it in. That's our goal now. twice for 15 minutes, we'll call truth near to free us. It's never been far just waiting. We'll greet it with a mending prayer. Sickness bars the real. I'll claim what I am, letting my mind heal fully now. Peace and truth will sweep through, banishing strife and empty dreams. No shadow will hide, no faint ghosts linger with their mad chases. The mind will shed its sickly whims, the frame heals as its source opens to ease. You'll know you've done well when it feels neither ill nor well, just useful. Nothing more. This lifts the chains you set, freeing the frame's strength for what matters. Its wellness is sure unbound by time, wear, or want. Sickness can't touch it now, yet guard this peace closely. If dark thoughts creep in judgment, schemes, you've misplaced yourself again, tying your essence to dust. Act swiftly, saying, I forgot what I am, mistaking this frame for me. Sickness shields the real, and not this dust. My mind can't strike. So I can't be ill.